All right, so this is another way to organize the unit circle in your head. This is how I organize the unit circle in my head. So I'm not picturing an actual circle and where everything, on the circle goes. This is what's in my brain. So maybe it'll help a few people. So first off, I say, okay, 30-degree reference angles are all root 3 over 2, 1/2. I know that. So now I have 4 30-degree angles, reference angles. I have one in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So now I'm going to write them in degrees. 30 degrees is in my first quadrant. Then in my second quadrant, 30 degrees less than 180 is 150, more than 180 is 210, and then less than 360 is 330. So those are my 4 30-degree reference angles. 30, 150, 210, 33. Oops, I meant 330, not 33. All right, now I'm going to do them in radians. So my radians are all pi over 6. Okay, so they're all pi over 6. It's just that they all have, I don't know why I'm doing it that way. They all have different numerators. Like, I need to have that memorized. So 30 degree, I think of my 15711. I bought one $5 ticket for 7-Eleven. So there's my 1 pi over 6. And then I have 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6. 15711. All right, 45-degree reference angle. They are all root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. My quadrant, I have 4 of them once again. So I have 1 in each quadrant, 1, 2, 3, and 4. My 45-degree reference angles are 45 degrees, 45 less than 180, which is 135, 45 more than 180, which is 225, and 45 less than 360, which is 315. So notice in the second, it's less than 180. Third quadrant's more than 180. Fourth quadrant's less than 360 every single time. All right, my radians are pi over 4s. Now remember, this is the only degree on the unit circle, the degrees that ends in an odd number. They all end in 5, which is odd numbers. So I think of it that way, and then I say, oh, this is also the one with odd numerators. It skips all the evens. 1, 3, 5, 7. 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4. 1, 3, 5, 7. All right, my 6-degree reference angles, they are all 1/2 root 3 over 2. There's 1 in each quadrant, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. In degrees, so 60 degrees is my first quadrant, 60 degrees less than 180 is 120, 60 degrees more than 180 is 240, 60 degrees less than 360 is 300. These are all pi over 3 reference angles. So 60 degrees, you start counting, but you forget the number 3. So 1, 2, 4, 5. 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, skip 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3. Also, let's make sure you realize why you're skipping 3. 3 pi over 3 is just pi, and pi is 180 degrees. You skip over it when you go from 2 pi over 3 to 4 pi over 3. Okay, next, my quadrantals. So my quadrantals, notice I don't have a column for quadrant because quadrantals are not in quadrants. They define your quadrants. So in degrees, they would be 0 degrees or 360 degrees. 90 degrees, 90 more than that's 180, 90 more than that's 270. In radians, this is 0 or 2 pi radians. Then we have 1/2 a pi, a whole pi, and then 1.5 pi's, which is 3/2 pi. 3 pi over 2. Ordered pairs, this is right 1 up 0. This is over 0 up 1. This is left 1 up 0. And this is over 0 down 1. So notice I'm faster at doing this because this is the way it's organized in my brain. Last but not least, I have my tangents memorized because remember, all my x values are cosines, all my y values are sines. So I could even up here go cosine, sine, all right? And then say everything in blue is a cosine, right? Everything in yellow is the sine, right? So sine. The only thing that can change is the sign of that, so meaning it could be negative depending on what quadrant it's in. Okay, so tangent of 30 degrees, root 3 over 3. 45 degrees is 1, and then 60 degrees is 3, and